Welcome to the Sam Says Podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the was previously known as the Sinead Says Podcast. However, it is now Stu and Sam Says Podcast.
The takeover.
It is the takeover. Yes, we are here to talk about the things that maybe Sinead doesn't want to talk about. Unfortunately, Sinead did a podcast that didn't record. If you follow her online, you would have seen that she's at a hen do. So I imagine the fragile person will be coming in and in the rush to turn around and a quick turnaround because we go to Japan. We thought that we would help her out, and
I've been drafted in, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk all things lads, so ladies, yeah.
So
we're going to talk about
golf, football, and the lads podcast. We're going to try and keep it on the theme of Sinead and what she likes to talk about, although it's probably not going to stay that way. So strap in. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I am interrupting this podcast, but first of all, I want to say thank you for my amazing boyfriend and his friends stepping in for me this week while things didn't go to plan for me and while I'm on a hen. Thank you all very, very much. But I just wanted to interrupt this podcast to talk about our amazing sponsor, BetterHelp. The guys do talk about loads of different issues, and both boys have also experienced therapy and benefited greatly from it as well. So if you would like to try therapy, or you want to get better with your communication, or you simply want to be the best person that you can be for your friends, your partner, and everyone around you, then I cannot recommend therapy enough. And BetterHelp is an affordable way to do this. BetterHelp is easy and accessible, and you can do it from the comfort of your own phone. So if you would like 10% off your first month, all you got to do is go to betterhelp.com/Sinead. That is betterhelp.com/Sinead. Hope you're enjoying this episode, and I will see you next week.
So, mate, tell me,
Showbiz, life of rock and roll.
Yeah. How are you settling into it?
Yeah. I've never really done any sort of public speaking or anything like that previously, so it was a bit of a whirlwind to kind of get up there. Sinead says to me that like when she comes and supports do the triathlons and marathons, there's like a sense of like, fuck yeah, that was, you know, obviously proud, but honestly watching her up there just come on, own the stage and just be an absolute boss bitch, it was a very, very nice moment and just very proud.
Turn on or?
Yeah, God, yeah. God, yeah. Yeah, she did fucking own it.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was
a really good show, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then talk me through the emotions pre, post.
I think I was so busy that I was trying not to think about any of, you know what, I just don't think I actually considered how many people was there, any of it, until Sinead said to me, I'll see you in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was just rattled. I think I was just too busy trying to do everything. I was just very busy trying to make myself not think too much, making sure it was all going smoothly for Sinead. They were pretty cool, calm, collective. Michaela was sort of doing all their makeup. The energy was good. Energy was high. Obviously, you saw Neve. She's just a fucking...
Yeah, she ripped it.
Yeah, she did kill it. I don't know how she hasn't... Yeah, she needs to carry on doing that sort of shit. Yeah, I think I was just trying not to think about it too much, in which I then...
Do you reckon you overthought it a little bit when you first got on there or not?
No, when I first got on, I didn't have my beard, did I? And then I was like, fuck. Like, then I'd come across... someone said to me someone had texted me saying, can you sort Sinead's mic out? We can't really hear her at the back. So I'm there thinking, right, how am I going to tell her I'm saying this to her? And I kind of panicked the first 30 seconds, yeah. And then the story I said about Melbourne, the flight story, as soon as that happened, I remember thinking...
Quick recap on the story?
Quick recap, okay. So the story goes, I was flying to Melbourne Tuesday morning. Perspective is Melbourne's only an hour or so away from Sydney. Tuesday morning was the day before the live show. Wednesday evening was the live show. I was flying to Melbourne Tuesday morning, flying back Wednesday afternoon, getting an Uber or taxi straight from the airport to the show. And then I was going to kind of go from there. Sinead had called me. Well, I'd taken off early doors, started reading my book, fell asleep. If you know me, I fall asleep anywhere, everywhere. Bang, I'm asleep. Woke up, we're sort of flying across the water, then reading again, bang, fell asleep, woke up, we landed. I was like, oh, it didn't even take long at all. Come out, walked out the airport, just Sinead texted me saying that she'd locked all of her stuff in the moped. in the seat of the moped. The only way she was calling me was from her watch. And then I was panicking, thinking, how are we going to get this out? I was calling the peg guy, an Italian guy, and then I'm trying to understand what he's saying, relay that back to Sinead. He's telling me, push the button, lift the lever, round your hand over the bottom bit, and then pull the rubber elastic thing. That was happening. Anyway, she's stressing. She can't get her stuff out the day before the show. There's no way of getting in the house. We live in a 6-story building. You just can't get in, can't even get up to there. Her phone hasn't got anything. I've come out the airport, went to get in an Uber. My phone, for some reason, wasn't updating that I was moved location. Anyway, I'm calling Sinead, jumped in a taxi as this is going on, called the peg guy, merged the calls together, showed the the taxi driver where I was going. He's left the airport. He's like, no, this is Melbourne. I was like, yeah, exactly. I need to go to Melbourne, Docklands, I think it was, Cremorne. He's like, no, we're in Sydney. It's like, holy fuck. So I'd lifted the airport, gone off, turned around in the air, being asleep, not even realising, engine malfunction, engine failure. And then come back down, didn't even realise of all the shit with Sinead going on and leaving her ped keys in. So
you are a sausage.
Yeah. Now I look back, I'm absolute fool how that happened. But I am very grateful it did happen, that was, that was kind of a few laughs that when everyone laughed
ease you into it. Yeah,
I was like, right, okay. Yeah.
It does give you a lot of respect for Sinead, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what 100%. I mean? Even just sitting here now doing this, put a mic in front of you, you're like,
oh, yeah, am I allowed to say that? But remember, Stu, on today's Sam and Stu Says, we can't get cancelled. It's not us that's going to get cancelled, you know?
We love that. Come on.
Yeah, the world is, or the options are endless. We'll just give it a little...
Pew, pew.
No, that was a round of applause.
Oh, was it? Okay, fair.
So, I think we've got a couple of topics we want to go across. Most of them, a couple of them we're discussing are getting to Australia, what's Australia like, and then the dating life in Australia. So what do you think it's like coming to Australia? How do you find...
So it's interesting because Sinead obviously gives her a little run through at the show, didn't she? And her perspective of how she landed here or whatever. So the reason I actually came over here, I came here with an ex-girlfriend, funnily enough. Yeah. Long time ago now, but came away with her, did the standard travelling, and then things didn't work out, and then you sort of move in a different direction, and then but you don't regret any of it, do you?
No.
Yeah, it's very daunting. Like the prospect of moving anywhere is like, it seems like the other side of the world.
Yeah, it's the other side of the world, but like it's the other side of the world. We're still driving left hand side. Yeah, speak 10 language, just kind of abbreviate things like Smogo or Arvo or. Yeah, mate. But a lot of the things are similar, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it seems really daunting, but it's not as daunting as what you would think. Like, you obviously have the same with work, right? We both work in recruitment. You get a lot of people from overseas wanting to know about what it's like to go and work in Australia. You really just want to get here. Do you know what I mean? Like, book the flight, jump on a plane, get some accommodation for a couple of weeks, get yourself sorted, find your bearings, and then work out from there. Yeah. Like, I think the prospect of doing it is a lot more daunting than actually getting on with it and doing it, you know? Yeah.
And it is the thought of it, moving to the other side of the world. Yeah, it is scary. There's no two words about it. But the scariest part of it is booking it. Like, once you've got that, it will work out. Like, I've been more times than I can remember, because you come here, you spend everything you've got, because you're starting again. You are. There's no two ways about it. But the way of life over here is...
Yeah, I mean, it's character building, that, man. I remember backpacking down the East Coast. So for majority of people that have come to Australia, everyone's done the East Coast. Yeah. Mate, I've run out of money. All I've got is a tent.
Yeah.
Me, two of the lads were like, right, beach it is. Pop into the supermarket, nicking some food. No. Do you know what I mean? Just to get by. But it's character building. When you look back and you say, what's your experience of Australia when you first got here? They're the moments that you look back and you're like, that was jokes. You know what
100%, I mean? Yeah. They're the best moments when you had nothing. You may do, it didn't matter. You was drinking, what, $5 for a bag of goon?
Yeah,
like,
big time.
Hangover. Horrendous. Deadly. Yeah, but it's definitely it is a character building. I think as well, people over here, not everybody, but a lot of people are in the same boat. Yeah. Like the time, the effort that everybody gives to one another here. There was even a guy I met in the lift of our building, and he had a bike box. He's got a Canyon bike. Chatting to him, he was like, fuck, everyone is friendly over it, aren't they? Yeah. Like, everybody's been in either your shoes or a similar shoes.
Well, it's funny because everyone's in the same boat, aren't they? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like when it gets to the weekends, we were chatting about this before, like you start thinking about dating. Like when it gets to the weekends, it's like do you want to go out dating, or would you rather just spend time with your pals? You know what I mean? Because your friends are your family. So like, do you really want to be going out dating, or is it just easier to go and like chill with your friends? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And I guess, is that part of a misconception that because Monday to Thursday, I'm definitely up for that date. Friday, Saturday comes around, the boys or your mates are going to the beach, or you're doing that. You're like,
I think like midweek's first date territory, innit? Like, I feel like you got to be pretty into them to go Friday, Saturday night.
Oh, 100, can't be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be midweek for that.
No.
It can't be weekend for that.
No. I mean, it can be, but I just think that's not really out here. You're making the most of your weekends, aren't you? Yeah. And like, we're getting older now. We're not going out bevving anymore. Athletes.
Nah. Yeah, we are athletes. We are.
We are boring.
Nah, I think that's a good thing here. Like, you do flip between the two. Like, for me, I like having events booked. You've booked High Rocks now. That's your priority. Yeah. Look how much like your rubber arm has gone there.
Yeah, because 4 weeks no drink. I feel like a different man.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Round of applause. Thank you. It gives you a bit of focus. It's good.
It does.
Good.
I think a good thing about when you come over here, having that social group, which you're not always going to have, but there's a lot of people like Irish around Sydney. If you're a female, you're probably going to get absolutely killed in the comments, but you will get a lot of people that will still help you and want to help you. As
killed
a guy,
by geezers, yeah.
Like, you ask for a room and all of a sudden all your mates are tagging mates, and it's like they've got a spare bed, and it's just like, we were just literally having this conversation. Like, the girls are away, which is why we've had to
step up.
Yeah. The girls' weekends to the guys' weekend are just completely different. Like, what the guys do on a weekend, it's like, oh, what did you do? Or how was Stu? And you're like, fuck, I didn't even ask Stu how he was.
Yeah, so talk me through your wild weekend while Sinead's been away.
This weekend?
Yeah, girls' perspective, they're like, oh God, but they're out. Birds all around them, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How wild have you been this weekend?
Oh, it was all like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was just a dream. The weekend, what have I even done? Friday, we went Paul Smith. The comedian, the Scouse comedian, went for food, actually drove, so we didn't even drink, came back here, caught up with, don't tell anyone that, the football, proper lads. Saturday, what did we even do Saturday? Was that yesterday? Saturday, I went to the beach.
Saturday beach.
Bronte.
Yeah.
Went Bronte, just chilled down by the beach, just a few of our friends. Then done barbecue with a few friends, then went to Watamola Beach. Yesterday, went out for dinner. One of our friends' parents are here. Again, your friends here are your family.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Like,
yeah, big time.
You know, we kind of keep going conversation to conversation, but when you get here, like starting sporting groups, starting fitness stuff, so it hasn't got to be fitness, whether you want to go and play chess or whether you want to go Pilates or football or...
Who do you know that plays chess?
We were talking about chess the other day. But just, it hasn't all got to be fitness related or whatnot. Just whatever you associate yourself with in a social event, go and do that, or go and find like-minded people that want to do that, and you will build friendships up quickly. There's a lot of stuff to do here, isn't there? Yeah, there is, cycling, running, a lot of run clubs, just...
But then even, I suppose, like, you go into a new location, you can put yourself out there, get on the dating apps.
You have to put yourself out there. Yeah.
Meet people. That's a good way to meet people. Like, it's a bit daunting when you first get here. That's always a good way to necessarily have to be going out with the intention of getting a bit.
Yeah. But no, you can go out and meet people and just get in that social environment. Talking between dating and then going out. What's your thoughts on, because I hear people, when you speak to people, or I don't know, social whatever, speak to single people and they'll be like, oh, I met this person, but they're always out and I want to go out with them that isn't going out. And it's like, you did meet them out on the piss. So it's also, you need to surround yourself in environments where you want to be with like-minded people. If you're meeting people out on the sesh every time or out on the piss, how can you then feel like, they can't do that? Because...
They do say that, like, you need to surround yourself with the type of person that you want to, or people you want to be with, like friends or relationships. So it's, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because I probably not really realised that until maybe since I came back from London, like the last 4 or 5 months, like not really going out. It's to like, because when you're in it, you just, do you know what I mean? That's just the norm. But then when you don't do it, you're like, oh God, like that's, I used to be that person. Do you know what I mean?
I would much rather spend my money on decent food than a big
but that's an age thing.
Yeah, it is.
But then you do still get people like, don't get me wrong, I love a bev, but
it's nice.
a bit all or nothing. So at the moment, I'm
Nothing.
Yeah.
And as soon as High-Rocks
The shackles will be off in March, yeah.
God, yeah. So how do you find for the lovely ladies that are interested, Stu here is single. Yep. You did hear that correctly. Stuart is single. I am not. Okay, so stay away from me. However, how have you found the dating life in Sydney? How do you find it? Because you went London recently, didn't you?
London,
how did you find the comparison of dating?
Well, I haven't really dated since I've been back, to be honest. Like I went on, we were talking about, I went on a first date last week. So I've pretty much had like a bit of a 6-month break dating someone. I would say people at home are a lot more up for it. You know what I mean? Like
when you say up for it, you mean
just going out?
Just,
yeah. So we got another mate of ours that he moved home as well. He was dating quite a lot, and I was chatting to him about a few stories, and he was like, "Mate, it's they're very transactional in London. People are very much like keen to go out whenever, wherever. Doesn't matter if it's Monday, Friday, week. Do you know what I mean?
That's the London culture, though, isn't it? Just going out, but and like amongst it.
It's drinking. You're out. You're amongst it. Whereas here, it's very like I'm at the moment. If I'm going to date someone, it's probably more like a walk.
Ice cream,
going out drinking.
walk,
do you know what I mean? Like a bit more tame. Actually, like chatting to them, seeing if you're on the same level before you put any. Like,
because if you went out for a walk,
effort.
if you went out for a walk with someone in London, they would be thinking psychopath.
Yeah. Like why?
Yeah,
I had that a few times.
Why are you trying to get me on my own?
Like even your pals, like what are you doing on the weekend? Do you want to go like walk coffee? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like it's just not really the dumb thing. And I feel like, if you said to a bird at home, you want to go walk down the Thames, they'd be like, he's going to kick me in.
I'll walk to the pub and then we'll get on it.
Yeah. Like it is very different, but I think you just adjust, don't you? I guess.
What do you think the struggles of dating are? So
for me at the moment, I think it's quite difficult when you're not drinking and you're not going out. It's to like, how do you actually meet someone? So like you said, you want to meet someone that's on the same wavelength as you. So like, you want someone that's like into fitness, blah, blah, blah. But like I train with my mate for High-Rocks at the moment. So like we're training every morning. Like you're working the day, you know what I mean? Trying to eat good, so you're not really going out. So like that side of it is hard. And then, inevitably you turn to the dating apps. I mean, they can be good or bad. Like I know people that are on them and they're going 4 or 5 dates a week. And they are loving it. You know what I mean? They are making the most of it. But, if you actually want to meet someone, I don't know. Like, obviously people do meet for a dating apps, but like, I don't know. I feel like maybe in Australia, especially eastern suburbs, everyone knows everyone, people on holidays.
But then there's also everyone does know everyone, and there needs to be a fine line, because if you're only going on a date or a couple of dates with somebody, then you're just getting to know certain people. I think... Yeah, as long as you're just being completely transparent with them people as to how you see that and what you're seeing from that. But it is a small place. Like there's always somebody who knows somebody of somebody. Yeah. There's always some sort of underlying connection.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can give me your thoughts on this, because I probably can't say, because I'm still the single one, right? But you go on a first date and let's just say it's mediocre at best.
Yeah.
What is the process for that post date? You know what I mean? Like, is there a courtesy message? Is it just a blank ghost? And let's be fair. She knows it's not gone well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've both walked away and gone.
I think there's two sides to this, right? Because part of it, do you feed your own ego a little bit and like the sense of, oh, well, this, or do you not and then not ghost it, but just let it air out? But then why are you letting it air out if you've got no interest anyway? You're doomed if you do and you're doomed if you don't.
True.
I think if it's just a first date, you can just be like, oh, it was nice to see you. Like, I'm just not really sure what... You kind of want to be honest and just say, look, it's not really...
But then, like, I don't know, does that make it worse?
Exactly. Why do they want to be let down? They probably wasn't feeling it either.
Yeah. Like, I mean, everyone's been ghosted, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I do think it depends if you actually thought that they were decent or not. Like, if you go out of them, then you get ghosted, you're like, fuck. But if you go out of them and it's not really there, and then you get ghosted...
Fair play.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Nah.
But
you weren't interested anyway. Yeah, you was going to not reply to their next message. They just saved you the bother.
But that side of it, though, that is the whirlwind. Do you know what I mean?
But
the whole like texting post-date, like how long do you leave it to message? Do you message them? Don't you message them? They leave you in red, then they message you back and you're like, well, I ain't going to message them back because they left me on red. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's a part of me that's a little bit like, I don't give a fuck what the rule book says. Like, If you felt
is there a rule book?
Probably not, but I'm just saying like, oh, should you not message? If you feel like you had a good time and you messaged and said, hey, I had a really good time, would want to see you again, and they don't reply, well, fuck them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it should also be, I know that everybody's saying, or like not everybody, but people would say, oh yeah, the guy should do this, the guy should do that. Yeah, they should, and they should make you feel special and they should really put effort in, but that effort needs to be reciprocated. You can't be
I agree.
Or the interest, or if you're feeling that it went well and you say that and they feeling it went well, they should say that back. Like, I do feel like we're in a position now where we're mature and people are a lot more mindful of understanding the human body and the brains and being able to communicate better. They should say, oh yeah, that went well. I like that. Yeah. This or that.
Well, I'd rather someone be like, it went well. It was nice to meet you, but not really for me.
That's if they're letting you down. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I'd rather just know.
Pursue it. You like sometimes, like I've got friends and they're like, oh no, I'm just playing hard to get. I'm like, you're a fool.
Yeah.
Because he will fuck you off.
Yeah. Like, I mean, mate, I'm a bit older now. I ain't waiting 2 days for someone to reply to a message. You know what I mean?
No, and it's that, I get the whole playing hard to get, but equally it's fucking immature.
Yeah, like, there you go, ladies. Immature. Yeah, just heard it here from Sam.
Yeah, you're either interested or you're not. If you're not, that is so sound.
So fun.
Yeah, because it just saves the lads the bother. Like, and I know sometimes it's like, oh, you don't want to be vulnerable, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. That's fair enough. Like, it can be difficult to kind of open yourself up at times. And, there's definitely times I would find it hard to...
It's just funny hearing you say from, like, saving the lads when probably 95% of the time it's the lads doing it to birds. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, no, like I do think Sydney dating's just everybody knows each other, isn't it? There's also a lot of good stuff to do, like going out for a walk, which, part of the time somewhere else it would be like, oh, it's an expensive date. It hasn't got to be an expensive date. No. And whether... But equally at the same time, you might not vibe with someone straight away because they might be holding back a little bit. They might be, vulnerable because of... And that's also a difficult thing. It's like getting a rescue dog in a way, and I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but you don't know what they've been through and you don't know what this girl's been through until they tell you and actually open up. Yeah. So you might be like, oh, she's really quiet or she's not really chatty much, but she might have gone through such a bad relationship or bad experience that she's finding it hard to do that. Yeah. But you also need to put the time in to commit to get them barriers down. And I'm really sorry for anyone that's been through it. I didn't mean to compare it to
it's a rescue dog.
What's good green flags on a date? What gives you them? Obviously vibes and energy.
Yeah, I mean, like for me now, it's more about like you meet someone that knows what direction they're going in. Do you know what I mean? Like down to earth, career driven, good job.
Just quickly, they know what direction they're going at. Do you 100% know what direction? No, but I'm just saying.
About me. No, mate, you're right. Look, for I probably didn't. I haven't for a long time, and it actually probably took me meeting someone that was like ticked a lot of those boxes for me to be like, holy shit, I don't know where I'm at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I've not really had that for a while. Like. I was in a long-term relationship, blah, 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 had fun, whatever. I hadn't really met anyone that I was like, oh, yeah, they're decent. And then it happened and I was like, oh, fuck, I don't really know where I'm, do you know what I mean? So it's like that sort of made me stop in my tracks to be like, you're saying you want X, Y, Z. Yeah. Well, then someone's presented themselves with X, Y, Z and now you're like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not actually ready for it.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of, if you don't really expect it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I know exactly what you're saying because you want someone that's, if this is what you want and this is what your turn-ons or green flags are, like someone that is driven, someone that can communicate well because you're a good communicator, but you also need someone to challenge you as to...
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like a better communicator now, but like it's taken a lot of lessons for me to get better at it. Do you know what I mean? But you have to like, and this is something I've learned now, is you have to have a base block to be able to then build the blocks on top to build a relationship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas before... I thought I had the building blocks there because I had a good job, blah, blah, blah. But then actually probably didn't, you know what I mean? So
that's interesting because you've had to find out that you've building these blocks and whatnot. But then do you think that was previous to the relationships that made you realise you had to learn that? Because as a guy that, girls, I think historically have got a lot more maybe advice or been open to the advice. Only more recent have males be more understanding of the advice that they need to get for a relationship? And
I mean, I don't know. Like they always say, like you got to learn to love yourself and blah blah blah. I get that, but like for guys, it's like you get in the gym, you get healthy. You're like, yeah, I'm all right. I like myself. Like I'm doing pretty well here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a bit of cash behind me. You know what I mean? Feeling good, blah blah. But like, do you actually like emotionally
love yourself?
Yeah. Because there's a difference.
There is, and
like I feel like you have to do those things to get to the other side. Yeah. But like, I never really like understood what that meant.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really? And I was like, yeah, I'm sweet.
Because I think before you understand that, do you really understand that part? It's you love yourself. Oh, he's got a high ego, or he's arrogant, or he's this. Because you don't actually love yourself, or you do. You love everything about yourself that you come across as being. You do,
but I think like you have to. Everyone have their own insecurities, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But like, it's acknowledging what they are.
Yeah, and appreciating that.
Yeah, and acknowledging like you do have them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, I would never have opened up to anyone about that. But I didn't even realise. Like everyone has them,
and that's a good point. Everybody has insecurities,
like,
and that's okay. Everybody has unsureties about relationships.
You give them a clap.
Well, yeah, let's clap on that. Oh, let's even do a trombone. Should we do red flags of dating?
Oh, red flags of dating. Okay. Are we saying about like your red flag turn-offs, or what are we? Give me a bit of context around.
So, like, is there anything in between? So we said like what's good, what's attractive for a date, and you know.
Yeah.
Like what goes well, what's attractive. Yeah. Like for me, it's quite nice to get someone. Like I think eye contact's good, because if you're looking at someone in the eye, it means like, okay, you're generally having a conversation with them, and you can, you know, not sometimes people are a bit too shy to make eye contact, or confidence isn't there, but someone that's trying to is a good.
I think like people that just don't ask questions. Do you know what I mean? Like it is a two-way street. Like, don't just sit there and expect the geezer to make all the effort the whole time. Like, I get it if you're shy. Like, and I actually had this. Someone has said to me, like, do you not get shy on dates? Like, yeah, of course you do, but you're gonna make the effort to work out whether you two are getting on. You know what I mean? But don't then sit there and be like, you know, if you ask a question, just be like, ask the question back. Do you know what I mean?
The point of a date is to go and find out, go and introduce yourself to someone and get to know someone.
Yeah.
Without asking questions, you're not going to get to know them, and they won't get to know you. Like I've had dates where I've gone and met someone and thought, actually, we're just mates. And you can still be pals with them people. You haven't got a date. A date is a bit like an interview. You just go and work out whether there's a vibe. Like you can, not everybody you date, you're going to think, oh, this is my guy, girl, or they, them. Like it's not everybody's going to be that.
All right. So how, like, what do you think's acceptable for volume of dates?
How many? A week, or with one person?
One person? I don't know. Or if you're dating you went out on a date with her and you're like, yeah, quite like her, but then you've already lined a couple of dates up, say. Like what volume are we talking?
I think it depends on, so there's obviously a few different questions there depending on what we're going to answer, right? So the volume depends what you're wanting from the dates. If you're just wanting a bit of fun and you're being 100% clear and precise with them people that this is what I want and this is what they want as well, as long as you're not making them think, oh yeah, this is something serious.
When are you laying these foundations?
Well, just like you can chat to them in the message, or like even when you go out with them, oh, what is it you're looking for? And if they're looking for different things than you, don't go back, or don't do don't try and pursue something when your paths are unaligned, you know. But if you are looking for something serious and you're going on 7 dates a week or 5 dates a week, are you forcing that? Are you like, or is that really just like, that's like a fucking Love Island experiment? But when you go on at the end.
Yeah. Do they?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. For the people that don't, oh, wrong one. No clapping. No, I think like this can be a little bit Peter Pan land, and you know, you're away from home. So some people are just looking for a bit of fun. Some people are looking for something serious. And I think you need to put yourself out there. But also, how can you stop dating, or what are you expected to not date again if you've been on one date with somebody and it went really well?
Well, I've often wondered, right? I don't feel like people at home, I feel like rush into a relationship very quickly. Well, maybe not rush, but like they would introduce someone maybe to their friends or family quite quickly. I've had that on a couple of occasions with friends. Whereas out here, do you know what I mean? I feel like it's got to be like you've got to be on quite a few dates before you'd introduce them to your friends. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Like if I said to you, do you want to come for dinner with my friends? And we've been on 3 dates. You'd be like, oh, I don't know.
I mean, we wouldn't have gone on the dates, but yeah, it would be like, you'd rather, I think this, like you'd meet a couple out, wouldn't you? Or you'd just do like another couple of mates out and then you kind of introduce yourself to them and that sort of thing. But yeah, I guess so. It's hard, isn't it? Because you need to just kind of have that conversation to find out.
Yeah.
Should we answer some of the questions?
Come on in.
Sinead,
what have we got?
Sinead's for a question box.
Shot through.
Okay, so a couple of questions we have here. Interesting start, Stu. Why do men think it's okay to stare at women in supermarkets, walking down the street, etc.? Firstly,
we don't do that.
Yeah, not all of us do that. Firstly, I'm going to answer this in 2 parts, okay? For you to know that someone's staring at them, you must be looking back. Drop the mic. So you're also looking at that person.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but...
Okay. Also, I think there's if someone is just flat out bogging, it's kind of a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bit intimidating, and I do get for females that isn't nice. But then you do get a handful of people that will be like, I'd rather meet someone organically, and I just want to meet someone out in the nature and all that. Well, they maybe, I don't know, organically out in the...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're trying to draw a bit of eye contact to see if...
I mean, look, if you're going to go out, do you know what I mean? Dappered up to the eyeballs, not a lot on, skin on show. I'm not being funny, girls. Geez, going to look.
And isn't it a compliment?
Well, yeah.
Like people are looking at you and you need to take that as a compliment and think, fuck, I still got it.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe guys should be a bit more cautious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe for girls in the gym, and do you know what I mean? Like it's quite a masculine position to be in.
Good.
You know what I mean? It's like good on them for getting in there.
Going up to someone in the gym. What's your thoughts?
Look, for me, it's not really for me. I don't think. Not in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe if you've come out of the gym, they might be like having a coffee, or you know they're walking outside. Maybe or if you've seen them out and you know them from the gym.
Yeah, different
situation.
Yeah, I think
like,
in the gym,
I don't want to be talked to
no-go.
in the gym. Like, leave me alone.
And that's someone's safe space.
Yeah.
That's someone's, right, this is where I'm going to go train, whether it's for their physical health, mental health, rehab, whatever. That's someone's place of safety. I think that's a no-go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do. I agree.
So
Have you ever done that though?
No.
No,
I really feel against it because I do think it's someone's safe space.
Okay.
I've chatted to Sinead in the gym, but she's my bird. So yeah, I'm not too sure why we think it's okay. I would say not all men do, and try and cup half full maybe and look at the positive side of it. You know, you look at fire. How do guys want to be approached in real life scenarios? Confidence on a girl is a very attractive
massively
thing. Okay. And if you flip it, girls you'll often see will say confidence on a guy. Every time you're in a situation as a guy, i.e. the live show, I was fucking bricking it. Okay. You have to think, I'm going to front this. I'm not going to let anyone know that I was bricking it. And Sinead was a little bit nervous. Not one moment from when she come on did she look nervous at all.
I think it's the same as anything though, really, isn't it? Like the thought of doing it is actually a lot more daunting than doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like even like girls approaching guys, I mean, you know, fair play.
Yeah,
but like even for guys going up to girls,
it's rate that.
Yeah.
Because we're also attached to our phones and the social media, and you've got so much access to see people from afar and, you know, message them, you know, and slide in the DMs or do this and that to go up and get like speak to somebody.
Well, I think
you get that vibe.
Is maybe from a girl's perspective, it'd be good to know, but I would say that they maybe see that as a turn off.
Ooh.
So say, for example, you've seen a girl out, blah, 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 and then you don't go and speak to them. And then afterwards you message
100%,
them.
yeah.
And they go, why don't you just come and say hello?
That's interesting. What I mean? Girls, what is your opinion? What do you think if you see someone out, a guy, and then they message you through some sort of social media platform? Is that A, bottled it, or 2, he's given me...
A or 2?
Carl, rewind. Option A, girls. Somebody has seen you out and they've not approached you, but they've waited to message you through social media platforms. Have they A, bottled it?
2.
B, respected your boundaries and appreciated the fact that you might not have wanted them to come up and ask you. Yeah, but I think depends how you do it. Like you want to do it, I would think you would want to do it in a way of like polite, feel the vibe out. Don't go straight in and be like, yo, you want to go for a drink? Or hey, you want to go for a drink?
Yeah.
Feel the vibe. Don't go in,
all guns blazing.
But yeah, I think meeting someone out is organic and it gives you, a chance. I remember when years ago before I was with Sinead, when I dated, I often...
Years and years.
Yeah, many moons ago, when I was younger...
Sam even thought about Sinead.
Oh, God, yeah. I would, if I met someone out, I would get their number and not get them on social media, because then you just get to know what they're like before you kind of got this impression of them. Like, I think guys are fucking shite with angles, photos, lighting. We had to FaceTime Sinead. I had to set these blinding lights up.
Yeah.
Right? So like sometimes girls are like, oh, I don't know. Whereas Sinead always says guys look better in real life than they do in photos. Whereas sometimes you can have how...
Yeah, we are tens in real life.
God, yeah. You think how a girl will look, and because there's so much insecurity and comparison and so much expectation around how someone feels like they have to look, that when you go and see them in real life, you're like, oh, you look slightly different.
Have you had that before?
No, never have you.
No.
Okay, moving on.
Next.
Good question. This is a question from somebody. Do they realise what they are doing when they're love bombing, manipulating? I'm going to say they, as that they don't just mean males, they mean both sexes, because it could happen both ways. I always feel like I was quite good at this, and I would pride myself on the fact I was very honest in situations if I was feeling something. If anybody feels otherwise, please don't message in. Okay, but I always do feel like I was honest in situations of what I was thinking, how I was feeling, and that sort of things. I think the love bombing and manipulating is something that people don't realise that they are doing, unless they're really calculated, and then people are arseholes.
Yeah, I think but
they're saying exactly how they feel in that moment.
Yeah.
However, when they're taken out of that situation, they might not be feeling that way, but it's how they feel at that present moment, which is then love bombing / manipulating / misleading, because it's making someone feel that that's how they feel all of the time when it's just that period.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I've been guilty of love bombing in the past.
Right, that you admit it though.
Yeah, admittedly. And
that's the first and the hardest thing.
First step, yeah. But admittedly, at the time, I didn't know I was doing it, because I probably wasn't emotionally aware really. It was like literally what you said, like that's how I was feeling, blah, blah, blah. But like probably didn't let the dust settle, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry if you can't answer this or you feel it's me putting you on the spot. What signs would you say somebody needs to be aware of with love bombing? What would you now look at from how you were when you did do it to now? How would you, from a third party, see that? How could you...
Probably if they're focusing all their energy into that person and like everything else has just gone to the wayside. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like, all of a sudden they've dropped everything else and it's just like they might have seen you 3-4 times a week. Like, I would say that's very intense quite quickly. Like, I would be a bit like...
So that's love bombing actions,
yeah? Yeah. I'd be a bit like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's pretty full on. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'd probably be a bit more like, you try and keep your distance a bit. Do you know what I mean? Or you just front it up and just say, look, I'm happy to see you, but let's just relax a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just be upfront and honest about it. But again, that all goes back to the communication side of it.
So the communication side of it, because that was like actions and seeing something a lot.
Yeah.
What sort of communication styles would you say, okay, if somebody's been a bit too much, or like maybe...
Double message, no response. Triple message, are you up?
Hello?
Sending gifts, I don't know.
Sending find my iPhone request. Would it just be like quite intense messages from time to time?
It's difficult though, because like if you like someone, I don't really like you know what I mean? You do message them.
And you're one of them people where you happily talk about your feelings, where you open yourself up to be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And you would say that to anybody that's somewhat close, like, I mean, you make yourself very vulnerable to me, or like, there's been times vice versa, but you do happily talk about your feelings and how you feel. That actually not many males do that.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I'm probably a lot more caged off now.
Yeah.
But like, I would have been very open about it before. Yeah. But I think that's just like...
Which also, not many people do that. So people would think, he's really opening up to just me.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, really there was you with a megaphone. Okay. Do ye, as the Irish say, ye be overthinking things as much as us girls? Yeah, I think men do.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Big time.
But like, very different overthinking things. Like, I reckon girls are overthinking. Actually, fuck knows what they're overthinking, but like overthinking how they felt, how this, how that. I just think we do overthink, and it just goes
100%. And I feel like as you get older, I think it's hard being a male. Like, it's obviously life's hard. I shouldn't just say that, but like, it's hard being a male. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to be financially stable, good job. You know what I mean? You've got to start thinking about providing for a family. Do you know what I mean? All these things that like start stacking up, and you're like, Jesus Christ, we've got to get your shit together. Do you know what I mean? We're going to have to look after not one, but like potentially multiple people.
And the pressure of everything rising in terms of price, economy.
Yeah.
Nothing's going down. You want to be, like you said, financially stable to bring a family. We were saying the other day, how much money to even have a kid?
Yeah. But that's from a male's perspective. Obviously, there will be, you know, and there probably is more so now than ever, you know, a lot of females that are extremely career driven and will think, you know, don't need men. I want to be financially free and stable myself. But that's the mindset of what will go on will go through a male's head. You know what I mean? And like, everyone overthinks.
100%.
Meditation. Huh?
I don't know if you've heard, but there's actually a membership site that
21
saved
day
our
membership.
lives. It was Braveway.
Yeah, the Brave
Sign
way.
up.
Yeah,
You can use Sam 10 or Stu 10 at checkout for absolutely fuck all off, but it will change your life. Do boys, I think she means say men, because we can't answer a question based on boys. So do boys feel the same sort of anxiety over not receiving a message from a girl?
I would say guys less so.
Yeah.
But it depends if you like them. If you like them, yeah, of course. And you'd be like, but I also think this goes back to the whole like security. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to try and not let that bother you.
Yeah.
Like, if that sort of stuff is really bothering you, like,
there's bigger problems there.
Yeah, you've got no chance. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because
like, who cares?
And that's the thing. People are busy. Like, for people to, you mentioned, right? How many dates is too many? If you can juggle 4 dates a week, you're chatting to, unless you've got 100% hit ratio, but you're juggling more people that you're chatting to.
A lot of admin.
That's a full-time job.
A lot of admin.
And then you still got to work. Then you got to make yourself financially stable in this economy. Then you got to do all this stuff. It's a lot of work. And see your friends, have a, you know, and turn your phone the other way around to have a bit of a
bit of you time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I think there's different levels and different ways that we get anxious versus what they do. I'm a very impulsive type of person, so I just say what I think, and there's times where I look at the message and think, as if I said that. You know, like I'll say to Sinead, like, some messages, and then I'll read it back and think, fuck, I sound like such an arsehole. But it's just because you think of it in the moment, bang, send it.
Yeah.
Opposed to,
I mean, you're quite impulsive in that situation,
just
though.
in general.
Yeah. And mate, I've seen it in you situations before. Sinead's not, do you know what I mean? She's not come back to you straight away, and you're like, well, this needs to be sorted now. Sinead's like, Sam, give me some space. You're like, no, I'm going round there. I'm like, no, you're not. Just chill out, mate.
Why do guys act like they don't care, but they actually do? I don't think guys do act like they don't care, do they? I think
it's just a front, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
all
just
guys
a front.
care.
And it's, yeah, of course. And it's the acting cool. You need to act cool, you know, when they don't want it. And it's all that sort of gamesy.
But then again,
like you're not interested to be interested.
I think, like, really, you got to look at that. Is that the sort of guy that you want to be going after? Similar to me, like, now it's like, if they ain't interested, they ain't interested. I'm just looking at it black and white now. Like, he's showing like he looks like he doesn't really care. All right, well, he doesn't care. Move on.
But also, like, there's an element of like when we lived together, right? There was 4 lads in a house. I honestly, like, I would be on my phone every now and then, but I would go hours without looking at my phone.
Yeah.
We'd go from PGA to FIFA to fighting to Guitar Hero, like, to, you know, winding up the girls. Like, we just didn't have a minute to do anything, did we? So, like, it's not always, it depends what they don't care about. Like, if it's because they're not caring about not talking to you or not doing this, not doing that, it's probably because they're just busy doing other things. And
yeah, I mean, it depends. Yeah, I suppose
like,
it depends
you need to have that line of having enough interest and showing that you're interest versus not being too keen that you've got nothing to talk about when you see them.
That is a difficult one, really, is about ensuring that you've got plenty to go in with. Like, you don't want to overshoot your shot by Do you know what I mean? Messaging too much, and then you get to a date, you're like, ooh.
Well, then you've just got a pen pal, you know?
Yeah. And I think that side of it as well, you say confidence for a girl, like,
being able to start the conversation.
Yeah, but just like, let's go on a date. Don't have to be like 1,000 questions or whatever before. You know what I mean? Like, go out on the date, see what it's like, see if
just go for a walk. Don't go for a drink, or keep it in the daytime, or keep it civilized.
Active.
Like being impulsive, just be like, yeah, fuck it. I thought that was quite attractive. Just like, fuck it, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like impulsive, just because.
Say yes to more things.
Yeah, say yes more. But say no if it's, you want to keep your boundary and you want to, it's you time.
You time.
Okay, this is interesting. Do men realise how much better of a selection they have compared to girls?
Is this in Sydney, in Australia, in the world? Because that is a very general
Not
question.
too sure. The profile picture's on a boat and I'm not sure
I'm gonna
whether
say
they're Ireland. Yeah. But I'm not too sure.
I mean, look, you have to admit it. Australia, mate, there's a lot of good-looking women here.
Yeah.
And I know you don't look anymore, but
I haven't seen any.
Yeah, like they're...
No, I've seen one and I live with her.
Like, we were chatting to a couple of lads the other day, so they went to a boat party last Saturday, and they reckon it was like 75, 80% birds.
Sounds fucking horrific.
Horrible. 8s or 9s or above. Like, wouldn't catch me there.
God, no. I think there's also, like, you got to admit it, like, fair fucks, there's a lot of fucking good-looking fellas.
100%.
Like,
but they ain't going to a boat party on Saturday afternoon. That's the point.
True. Yeah, true. But there's a lot of, like, good-looking humans in Australia, all round.
Yeah.
Everybody, I would say, is well-kept.
Country.
It's a general good-looking country. But I also think, like, if you're going just based off looks, well, is that what
Do you
you're
think
valuing?
Australia makes people vain? That's a yes, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say it makes it vain. It makes me, like, maybe up my standards a little bit, or, like, makes me want to look after myself a little bit more, because we're walking around in, swim shorts most of the time.
Budgies.
I don't know if that's, budgies, big up budgies. I don't know if that's vain, like, because you want to look after yourself, but there's definitely a lot of attractive people.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of competition, isn't there? So you've got to try and keep yourself in reasonable nick. It's not like you're hibernating for winter and you can get away with it 6 months, is it?
Just from a girl's perspective, right? Just so you do know, there's been times when lads will get together and someone will mention a person, like, it is often that they've gone, oh, she's fit, but she is boring, right? It is important to keep the good banter, right?
Yeah, but mate, it's hard though.
Give it back to someone. Like, it's, when you get someone that kind of gives it back, you're like, oh yeah, I rate this. Like,
it is hard though. Like, do you know what I mean? If you ain't really going out much and stuff, and all you're doing is just training.
No, but I just mean, like, not necessarily because they're just training, but like some people would just be like, oh, bit of a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Just,
all right,
like,
get that. Yeah.
I haven't got to walk around like,
yeah.
Just
what were you doing there?
The Zoolander.
Sam's a super pout.
It's a fucking hard question. When is it acceptable to say I love you to a girl? Oh, and then the next question, how long does it take for a boy to fall in love with a girl? I think there is no generalization on this question. Sinead is adamant I said it in my sleep. I was asleep, right? I don't know. I just think when you know that feeling, there's no timeline.
If you dreamt it, you felt.
I think she dreamt it, not have. There's no timeline. I don't think you can sit there and say, oh, this is a timeline.
Mate, look at Love Island. They're in love in a week, mate. It happens.
Fools. If ever you do feel like, oh, I'm not sure, I haven't got much going on, just watch that and you think, I've got a little bit of my shit together.
Got a little bit about me.
I am addicted, don't get me wrong. But, have you been watching it?
No, I haven't. No. I'd love to do a little Love Island.
Yeah, we'll have to. Like, I actually really rate how I feel like there's a lot more different personalities on there now, and like, you see
older,
and like Luca, for example, he's shown a lot more of a vulnerable side to him,
right?
Which shows a lot of maturity. And there's times where he's like, there was something that happened last night with Ekin-Su saying she was there when Ronnie had said something, and he was like, "No, you fucking weren't," or whatever. And like, someone to stand up and actually, he just seems very genuine.
Ekin-Su's back. Where's David?
Who? David.
He's not in there, no. David.
Oh no, this is the same person. Okay, is such a casual dating scene?
What? Start again.
Oh, okay, start that again. In such a casual dating scene, how do you know who's for real, who's willing to make an effort?
I think like
You get that,
I think like the first date, I think you can normally tell.
Yeah.
Like, repeat the question.
Yeah.
How do you tell if someone's genuine?
In such a casual dating scene, how do you know who's real, willing to make an effort?
I mean, it is difficult.
Yeah, it is.
It is difficult.
I think like
I think you have to respect.
Ask,
I think you respect your own boundaries in that situation. So like, if a guy's taking you out for drinks, like go be social, blah blah blah, but like, don't get white girl wasted so that it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah.
Because inevitably, if you're going for 5-6 drinks, you know what I mean, it's going well.
Can happen.
It's probably going to put it on you.
And then that's a hard one to come back from. Calling a spade and being honest. Once it's kind of like happened straight away.
So what if they put out first date? No.
I'm not saying no, but like you now have lost the power to kind of in a way be in control of that situation, whether you want casual or not.
Yeah.
You're then giving that other person the chance to be like, oh no, I only wanted casual or I wanted something more. Yeah. You know, because if they just wanted casual at that point, then you kind of...
But then like I don't really think that there's too much wrong with saying on the first date, like, are you looking for anything?
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Or what are you looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I think asking direct questions will help you get direct answers. And if someone's fluffing around the lines, well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And if it's like, I don't know because of this situation, depending on how much, if they make good eye contact and they're telling you something, 9 times out of 10, it is. If they're looking up in the air, it's probably them chatting shit. Look at maybe traits. How to politely decline dick pics and sex texts without being mean or sound angry. I would like to apologise on behalf of decent men who, or to females that get unsolicited dick pics, because I think that is very, very not on. Bad form in it, really. Just fucking weird, yeah. Like, you kind of want that to be like saved until the real deal.
I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah, but you would rather see it in person.
Yeah, of course. But I just mean it's weird in general.
Yeah.
For a geezer, you know what I mean?
Just like, at what point have you thought, my schlong's looking decent, let's snap it up?
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, it is. And you have to try and be equal and all that. And like, you know, make sure that you can't say it's unacceptable for lads, but acceptable for girls. Because, you know, some people, I guess, would like that. But yeah, like girls that will send lingerie pics or whatever, I don't think as a guy it's ever unsolicited. I think that would always be welcome. But maybe are you doing that and then he's sending it back? Because then maybe he's just trying to be polite and not, you know. But, well, I think that might be everything that we said we was going to go over.